Okay, so Apple just finished their WWDC 21 event, and they got lots of new stuff announced for this event, and I'm really happy to share it with you guys. So let's get into what I think and the impressions and the reactions of this WWDC 21 event. Just to be clear with you guys, I'm going to cover iOS, iPadOS, macOS, watchOS, and the privacy features, and that's going to be it. Cause I'm not going to go into like the little iCloud Plus and all that minor details. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do the main focus of the WWDC events. So yeah, let's get right into it. So for iPhone, for iOS, the first thing they talked off the board was FaceTime. With FaceTime, you now have option for spatial audio on FaceTime, and I'm pretty sure it's across all devices. They weren't really that clear if it's just for iPhone or if it's for all devices. I'm really hoping it's for all devices. That's going to be really cool. That's just the door creaking. That'd be really cool if it's across all devices. And then and also they said that the microphones on when you're in a FaceTime call, if you have noise behind you, it only focuses on your voice. So there's this button where you can just move behind and it just focuses on your voice. It sounded kind of weird, but I mean it's also like just it's like turning off like the background and all that stuff, so it's kind of focusing on your voice. So it did work really well, but that just sounds kind of weird. So I'm not sure about that, but that's still a pretty cool feature. And also there's going to be a grid view just like Zoom or FaceTime video. They also showed that at the WWDC. And also there's going to be portrait video for FaceTime. Pretty sure it's going to go only for the new iPhones. I'm not sure it's going to go for the iPads, Macs, all that stuff. All this demo that they did for FaceTime was on the iPhone because it's iOS. But I'm also not sure if they're going to use it for just the iPhone or is it going to be just for the iPad. I'm hoping it's for both, and the Mac will be awesome. And then there is FaceTime links. FaceTime links for Android. So that's awesome because here most of my friends have Android, sadly. Not sadly, but because I can't really connect with them for my soccer team. But still, it's going to be cool because now you can have FaceTime links. And what you can do with that is you get your link, right? It's like a Zoom call. Set up your links, and then your friends can join on whatever browser they are. If it's Chrome, Firefox, whatever, you just send their link and it automatically makes them join. That is pretty cool. I haven't tried that yet. I should definitely try that because that's going to be awesome. Definitely a great feature. Hopefully, but I was kind of hoping for messages for Android, so like iMessage, and I might connect and it'll just be the same operating system. But for Android, when you have that, it'll just show up like your regular messaging default app. So I was kind of hoping that would happen. I kind of missed that, but I mean, it is what it is. It still is a great thing to have that Apple introduced. That's awesome. Next up is SharePlay. So when you're in a FaceTime call, and let's say you're hearing some music, you want to share some photos, it's going to be like Zoom's share your screen feature, but instead it's going to work mainly for Apple and iPhone devices. So what you're going to do is you're going to have you're going to share your screen. If you're watching a show, you're going to share it on FaceTime, and all that they can hear it. And what's even better is you can watch together, and also the sound will be like they're right with you. So if a person's on this side, the sound will be coming from this sound. If somebody's on top, the sound will come from down. That sounds really cool feature. I'm hoping I'm hoping that's a really cool feature if you want to watch a show together. Let's say an NBA playoff game. That would be pretty cool. But so that's going to be really cool for other people who just want that. It's going to look awesome for that. Next up is the messagings. And that's going to share with you. This thing is going to have for Apple News and photos. So it's going to be practically the same thing, but for like iMessage and other stuff. So you have a feature, you have that you can have on Apple News. Somebody texts you, and they just want to say, hey, look at this news feature. You can either go there and then you can reply to someone while being on the Apple News app in a cool little frame up top, and then you're gonna have that, and then it's gonna go for music, photos, and all that cool stuff. So it's gonna be really cool. And then for notification summary, they announced this pretty slick and cool design. So it's gonna depending on the very use of your app. So you have Safari, you want notifications, YouTube. Depending what you have, it will show like what you watch the most, and it'll put it in notification grouping. So that most important is gonna go on top, and then the rest is gonna go at the bottom. So it sounds pretty cool, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be also for iPad and for Mac too. I'm pretty sure. And then there's going to be not disturb, focused for your work. And this is the thing we're pretty much all expecting. I was expecting it on my last video for WWDC on what to expect. I predicted that, and also I predicted Monterey was for the macOS name. I predicted that, which was awesome. I feel so happy. But still, so what you can do is you choose apps for notifications. So when you go on Do Not Disturb, you can still choose apps to send you notifications when you're in Do Not Disturb for like messages, email, all that stuff for your coworkers, like Apple said. That's going to be really cool. And then also there's gonna be time for you can do not disturb for work, and they'll send a message that says I'm doing depending on what you're doing. So let's say you have work, so it'll automatically send a message. Sorry, I'm doing work. I'll talk to you later. All that stuff. And even in the messages app, it will say when somebody down below. It will say when someone is in do not disturb mode. So that is actually a pretty cool feature. So if you want to send something, just keep in mind that it'll be in do not disturb mode. That is actually really smart from Apple. It's actually a pretty cool feature. And then live text for camera. This is a feature that's kind of, I'm not sure, I'm not really going to use that if it's on iPadOS. I'm not really going to use that, but what they said is like when you're in a photo and there's blurred, you can go in and actually like select the text and then have to touch it, and it'll show up like a phone number, all that stuff, and actually you can search it up on Safari and it'll get to that thing. It's kind of like Google's Pixels feature where you like take a photo of something and it automatically goes and shows something else, like on the Google Pixel feature, where you like take a photo and it'll automatically like see what you're taking a photo of. And that kind of reminds me of what that is. I'm not really sure if that's that, but it's really cool. And then photos, and then you can also photo search on memories and that. This is really cool. So like when you're like, it'll be like, like your memories, like when you go press Apple on like your Apple Photos and have your memories. That's gonna be kind of like that. It's not gonna be quite like that. So you're gonna have your music and it's gonna play. This only works with Apple Music. And so you're gonna have like your music for your like library, and it's gonna play a song with the flow of the photo. So if it's something like you're climbing a video, it's gonna be nice and energetic. If it's just like a nice moving shots of you taking photos, then it's gonna be more nice and soft, more passive. If you're taking a video of your action, it's gonna be more and energetic. So that's a pretty cool feature, but it only works if you have Apple Music. Just keep that in mind. So they brought major changes to Wallet, Weather, and the Maps apps. So let's start off with the Wallet app. I'm gonna go in order here. So with the Wallet app, you have you have Apple Pay. So you have your so let's say you have your airplane ticket. We're in 2021. Are you really traveling? But hey, people do that still. So you can go on your iPhone. This only works if you have an 11 or 11, an iPhone 11 or the 12. Go with the ultra wide band shipping. You just take it there, and there it goes. So it just starts doing that, which is actually a really cool feature. And then for weather, you have a radical new redesign on the home screen, which is actually pretty cool. So what you have there is that you have like you redesign, and I'm gonna be showing B-roll of that actually right now, and it's actually really cool. It looks pretty modern, and it looks all these new features and just look really modern in my opinion. But yeah, it looks really cool. And now for the maps, they have a new redesign for buildings that look like 3-dimensional, 2D, and all of that stuff. And I gotta say, it looks really cool. The buildings look kind of cool. When there's a night mode though, it'll have your like a moonlight, and I gotta say that night mode on maps is looking sick. I love that. It is really cool. Maps need support for new countries in detail, and there's gonna be new high-res maps of and the precipitation, the weather, how cold is it, is it gonna rain or not, and all of that good stuff from Apple. That's really cool. And this thing will also be supporting CarPlay, which is really cool. So you can, if you have a brand new car that supports CarPlay, you can do that, and it'll automatically show on the screen your directions and all that cool stuff. It works, and from what I've seen, it works really cool. Now, now down to iPadOS. And as someone who's filming on an iPad 3 right now, I am really happy that these key changes have finally come. iPadOS widgets can now be on the home screen. Finally. It's here. We're all appreciative of that. Us iPad users, which I'm pretty sure most kids have iPads right now because their parents just don't want them having an iPhone yet because they think they're not old enough. But finally, we have widgets on the home screen, and like I said, they look pretty cool. I kind of wanted them to look like iPhone's widgets, but I mean like no, they're more square. This is more like flat and square, like a rectangle, not so squared. It's more like a rectangle, just stuff like that. But like I said, that photos widget looking sick. That is really cool. And there's going to be a new format, and they're bringing back the app library on the iPad. That's going to be major changes, and it's going to have widgets, and you can just deselect home pages just like on the iPhone. So it is looking really good for the iPad software this year. And there's also new improvements for multitasking, which are pretty cool. Multitasking is always a good feature, and iPad I use it a lot for if I'm watching an NBA game like the Lakers, and I go up and I text a friend with playing games and whatever else. Kind of sad the Lakers are eliminated. Hopefully we can come back stronger next year. But so it's going to be really cool. Multitasking, quick access on the home screen. So and also it's going to be like new ways of multitasking. It's going to be practically the same thing, but with a little bit more changes to the stuff. That's going to be really cool. And there's gonna be a new notes app. Not like redesigned, but it's gonna be a quick note, which is if you have a note, you can it's practically picture in picture. So what you're gonna do is you can move it anywhere on the screen, and when you're like in an app or an email, you can tap that. It'll instantly multitask with that. And when you're like on multitasking, like on the dock thing, you can actually drag an app and put it on top of the other app and it creates a split screen, which is actually pretty cool. There's kind of new learning curve, just like iOS 13. So all of these features, but overall, I think it's gonna be a great addition. It's gonna look awesome, and I'm expecting with iPadOS to be really good. So I am really happy that these changes are coming to the iPad. Now let's get on to one more thing. There's gonna be Split Playground for iPad. Now you can create if you're a coder on the M1 iPad Pro. They can be Split Playground built-in apps for the iPad. That is gonna be sick. So you can actually you can make your own app on the iPad. It's gonna be awesome. Sally, we didn't really see Final Cut Pro on the iPad M1. I'm pretty sure Apple did that for battery saving measures and also for the heat and performance. I wish I would have said that I wish I would have done that. That would have been awesome. But I mean, it just didn't do it. That would have been sick. But I mean, on to macOS, and they got a pretty good update in my opinion. And for macOS, we have some big new changes. You have SharePlay, just like on FaceTime, and just like the iPhone and iPad. So you have the exact same features, all that stuff. You have new stuff. You have your new FaceTime. You have your spatial audio, hopefully coming to the Mac. You have all of that good stuff. And the name is Monterey, and I called it. So that's pretty cool because it's Big Sur Monterey. It just feels Apple-like. Just feels too much Apple-like. But still. Yeah, and there's SharePlay, all that good stuff, and there's also AirPlay on this. So it's gonna be the exact same thing as the iPad. I'm not sure why they said AirPlay is new if we had like AirPlay on the Mac. I'm not sure what they mean there, but I mean, it still is a pretty good feature. And we have shortcuts for the Mac, which is really cool. So all that stuff on the iPad, so you have the exact same shortcuts, and it's gonna sync, whatever, on your same. So if you have shortcuts on your iPad and you're linked with the same account, it's going to show up on the Mac. So it's going to be the exact same thing, which is pretty cool, in my opinion. It looks really nice. And also, there's going to be a universal control for the Mac and iPad. So how they showed that demo was actually a pretty good feature. So you have, let's say, I'm pretty sure you have to have it on sidecar with an iPad and a Mac. So if you have save accounts, you can move the cursor through the iPad and to the Mac. It's actually pretty cool. And then if you can add as many displays as you want, as long as they're an iPad and a Mac. So what they did is they had an iMac, a new iMac, and they went from an iPad, the cursor, all the way dragged all through the screen to the iMac and dropped it in a Final Cut Pro. That is actually really cool. I can see people with that who are like artists, Final Cut editors, and people who just want on their monitor. So if you have an M1 MacBook Pro with an iPad Pro on the Magic Keyboard, you can have dual screens for that stuff. That is actually really cool from Apple. That looks really nice, actually, in my opinion. It's going to be a great feature, and lots of people are going to use it, I'm pretty sure. So, macOS, that's pretty much it. But we got a new thing on the Mac. So okay, let's get into it. Safari got a redesign. There's a new grid view and a new tab view that looks more modern in Apple's eyes. And I gotta say, it looks kind of modern. It looks really cool, too, in my opinion. It looks really nice. And it's going to have Apple's web extensions with iMac and with iPad and iPhone. So there's gonna be a new grid view for like shortcuts, not shortcuts, but like those tabs. You're gonna put them on the side, and that's gonna be really cool. And it's gonna be the exact same thing on the iPad and the iPhone. The iPhone got a new redesign on Safari. So these changes are for the iPhone and the iPad. So what iPhone got is to take up the since it's a pretty small screen. You have so it's gonna have like your tabs at the bottom, and you can switch through tabs just like multitasking, and it'll be all. And then when you press you want to see the entire grid view of the apps, you'll be able to see that, and that is really cool. Especially because the iPhone is a small space and it's only 6 inches, most of the iPhones, and it is actually going to be really cool for somebody who has an iPhone and they don't just opening a tab and going and make that extra press. It all is just going to be there. That is awesome for the iPad. And that's going to be really cool. And I'm pretty sure this WWDC this year was really cool. Unfortunately, no new MacBook Pros this year. I'm pretty sure they're going to launch in either Apple's September event or October event or whatever, or Apple's November event like they did last year. Because that'll be kind of like the year on, unless he released it in September for the M1X and the M2 releases in November. I don't know, but still. This is WWDC focus on, and we're going to now move to watchOS. HomeKitOS we're going to do a little bit, but first it's going to be watchOS. So watchOS got some minor tweaks, mostly in the Photos app. So what they showed here is it's going to be health sharing, and really it's going to be practically with the iPhone. So like if you didn't really, there's like Apple released minor tweaks and stuff like that for health. So what they did is like you can monitor each other health steps and features on your iPhone, and your Apple Watch will be included in that. Fitness also gets an update. So for the fitness app, my Wi-Fi got kind of bored at that time and just kind of stopped working. I missed a couple minutes, like 3. So if I don't get these racks all wrong, not that right, just keep that in mind. So what they got, I actually saw what they said. It was fitness, like it actually tunes depending on the type of fitness you're doing. So you're doing yoga, let's just say, it's gonna be a smooth, nice music. You're doing high intensity like cardio workout, or like hard pumping weights, all that stuff. It's gonna play a nice intensity pop, rap, or whatever else. And you can have your personal albums on that. Especially you can have your albums. Let's say you have an album for a workout. You can use that for lifting weights. If you're doing yoga, you can have an album specifically for yoga, and it'll play and that. So that's actually a pretty cool feature right there. And then new redesign on photos on an Apple Watch. So if you have a photo, if there's a new redesign, not a redesigned watch face, you can actually have new watch faces for your photos, and it's actually pretty cool. So it does work really well. But so it is really cool, but on the few photos, you can view the photos, it's going to be full screen, and then you're going to send it to somebody, and it actually works really well. And there's going to be photos from the Apple Watch, which is actually pretty cool. And that's about it for the OSs. And there's HomeKitOS, which allows you to have personalized movies and all that stuff. And yeah, that's about it. For privacy, you can also have your mail privacy protection, so people cannot really hack you. You're gonna have special. You can have it can hide IP addresses, which is pretty cool. And Safari can also hide IP addresses and have privacy reset. So you can have like mostly on privacy, which I'm pretty sure, which we were mostly expecting. And then it has more Siri voices, iCloud account recovery contacts. So let's say you die unexpectedly, hopefully you don't, but you die, you can have a member of your family, like your son or whatever, actually have permission to go into your account. And then health features, you can walk your sittingness, your iPhone can measure your steps and movement, exercise on the health app, trends while you sleep and all that stuff. So and rest and resume, what that means is that your iPhone will keep track of if you're gonna fall or not, like how good you walk, if your steps are good, if you don't see like you're wobbly, all that stuff. So and it's gonna help you in your sleep and health and all that stuff. So we'll see what iPhone does. And for AirPods, you have conversation boost. You have announced notifications for Siri, Find My Network, special audio for tvOS and macOS finally. And then yeah, that's about it. And then yeah, that's about it for today. That's the WWDC features. There's plenty more little details that I left out, like iCloud Plus, like 2 more details I left out. I didn't really want to include that because I mean mostly we're focusing on is the new iOS, iPadOS, and macOS, watchOS. I tried to include that, so let me know your thoughts, what you thought in the comment section below if you even want to comment. Well, that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. And guess what? My cousins are coming over in 3 days, so we're gonna be posting daily vlogs, more or less daily vlogs, because my cousin has an iPhone X, and they're gonna be, it's 3 cousins. There's a 16-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 9 and a 10-year-old. So it's gonna be really fun, especially when you're out. We're gonna post daily vlogs every day together, and also I'm gonna have friends coming over for California. So it's gonna be really cool. Seeing we're gonna have vlogs starting June 12th, I'm pretty sure, or 11th. It's gonna be the first day of vlogs, and it's gonna be awesome. And also they have AirPods, iPhone XRs, and iPhone X. So I'm gonna be reviewing those products and today. So I'm gonna be reviewing those products in 2021. It's gonna be a fun few weeks. I'm gonna be here for 3 weeks. We're gonna have tons of fun. I'm gonna post daily vlogs like 2 days to 3 days apart. It's gonna be a fun day. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe, please. That would mean a lot to me. And yeah, the vlogs are coming. Bye.